to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem B'Kakudash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle this video, It's June! Microchips in fight against drug cheat. So it's one step closer to the microchip. You see the microchip right there? That's the charagma, the mark. Revelation 13:16. Know it sounds like a broken record. Didn't wake up in the morning saying, oh, I'm going to do another video on the microchip. Well, here you got the brother elder from GMS, Truth Be Told 144. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe and be edified. He makes great videos. Anyway, it's so the video that he put up is entitled, as you can see, if you can read, It's June. Thanks to Nate for throwing that to us, throwing us a bone. It's June. There are microchips. There are microchips. It's June. Microchipping. Athletes will come soon. 2017. Oh, wow. Wow. This is almost 10 years ago. This is old news. So here you go. You see it in front of you. It says, call for athletes to be, I guess, fitted, I guess, with microchips in fight against drug cheats. They're going to use that. Oh, no, we're not following anybody, scanning them, and what's the term? Monitoring people. Oh, we're just doing it because there's too many drug cheats out there with the whole steroid thing and the PEDs, which is an acronym for performing enhancing drugs, PEDs, whether they be in the form of steroids or anything else. This guy, Lance Armstrong, he won 7 or more world cycling championships. Come to find out, what this guy was doing, he would take his blood out, store it, and then he would add the blood back in, making his blood richer. I guess he would cycle the blood, whatever. But he would have more blood in his system. That's why he can keep going. That's what you have is high, what is it called? The term is you train in high altitude training. I think that's what it's called. Which I used to live out in Colorado. And when you live out in Colorado, we were training out there. We were running every day, exercising, doing some real training. If you can do 3 miles, even 2 miles a day, or 5 days out of the week, if you can do 2 miles, come back to New York, you can do 10 miles. That's your high altitude training. Which you got champion boxers that don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're trainers. They got them training and living in high altitudes. You're not supposed to live and train in high altitudes. If anything, you can live in high altitude and train in lower altitude. And you have hyperbaric chambers and all that. So now you can't say you can't do that because that's part of their training. You can do stuff like that. But I'm talking about steroids and PEDs, performance enhancing drugs, which you can mask it. So when VADA does the tests, USADA, VADA, these are how can I say, organizations that test for PEDs. But anyway, so they're saying we're doing this so we can detect PEDs, performing enhancing drugs. So it says, so this is a class. Now I said many, many years ago that the way they're going to push this chip is by classes, meaning all the athletes got to get a chip. That means boxers, wrestlers, figure skaters, track runners, so forth. Oh yeah, American Jake broke Usain Bolt's record. Records are made to be broken. Usain Bolt, one of the great ones. So anyway, back into it. So it says, Chief Executive of World Olympians Association makes implant suggestion. This is an article from 2017. We're talking 10 years ago. Almost 10 years ago, 9 plus. We're prepared to chip, in case you don't know what a chip is, that's a chip. That's a chip right there. A mark, a charagma. It says we're prepared to chip our dogs. So why aren't we prepared to chip ourselves? Mind you, this was almost 10 years ago. This is old news. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little of this. Let's see where the Spirit takes me. I don't want to go long. Let's see where the Spirit takes me. So it's June. There's a microchip. It's June. And as I said, the chip is going to be administered by way of classes, athletes, police officers, different model cities, states. New York, they're going to be the first to chip their police officers, state troopers, police officers, whatever. Then it's going to go to nurses. All nurses have to be chipped. All doctors have to be chipped. Free and bond, rich and poor. All prisoners have to be chipped. And the way they're going to present it, as I said before, my estimation is this. My humble opinion is they're going to offer prisoners that might have did 6-7 years of a 20-year bid, and they might say, you know what, if you take the chip, we'll let you go because we can monitor you. What do you think you're gonna say? No, I'll do the rest of my bid like a man. Some of them are institutionalized, so they want to stay in the joint. They want to be up in there until the sun burn out. That's a prison term. Anyway, they'll say, look, you'll be out of here in 2 days if you take this chip. Take the chip, keep the chip. You don't got to do the rest of your time. What do you think they're going to say? They're going to say, oh, hell, give me the chip. Where do I sign up? So you got doctors, nurses, the so-called 4 branches of the military, really 5, really 6 branches of the military. They're all going to get, that's another class. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Space Force. Then you're going to have Congress, senators, Congress people, House of Reps, president's cabinet, president's going to have to do it to show. See, the president even got a chip because it said rich and poor, free and bond. Okay? So it's here. It's months away. Anyway, let's go.
It would feed us with knowledge and understanding. Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 20, our teachers not being removed into a corner anymore, but our eyes seeing our teachers. No blessed peace and salutation to the members of the
I'm gonna let this brother cook, because he's gonna say the right thing, trust me.
Since they elect, beginning with the 144,000 chosen men, the prophets of the Lord, also unto the extra men, women, and children, whom the Lord will have mercy on in these last days, shalom be unto you. Your brother Calab back at it and not.
Brother Calab or elder, I would say. Hey, if he's a brother, I raise his rank up to elder. He's an elder now. Calab, I believe that's dog, faithful. Calab, you are an elder as of right this minute. You're no longer a brother, you're an elder, okay? This is based upon your continuous teaching, putting up videos. The Spirit is with you. I know somewhat of your backstory that your father, I guess, other relatives were. Your father was a pastor or something. You would think you were trained to be a pastor, whatever the case may be. So, subscribe to this elder. I was going to say brother. He's now an elder. Subscribe to this elder and be edified. Okay? He don't know them, but I listened. I subscribe to him and I watch his videos. Try to watch everybody's videos. It's impossible, but I do watch his and others. So, he said a prophet, right? Prophet is going to tell you that Revelation 13:16 is a microchip. Any true prophet of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, not a prophet of Jesus like Bishop Nate. See, Bishop Nate can't see it because he's a prophet of Jesus. If the Lord, if Yahweh was dealing with him, he wouldn't be teaching against the mark of the beast and being a chip. He knows that we're telling the truth, but pride gets in the way. All that bag of money.
Other lesson, Lord willing, this is edifying. Today's date is June the 15th, 2026. And what inspired this lesson is an article I came across concerning the microchipping of athletes. Right, as we know, in the air right now is a lot of bread and circuses. Right, World Cup is currently in progression, and I was thinking about how these devils, the rulers of this world, intend to microchip the populace. And we know that they tend to use a lot of influential folks like athletes, to promote their agendas, right? So it had me look into the subject of athletes being microchipped, and I looked at specifically Sweden's football team, and they mentioned that none of Sweden's players are known to have microchips embedded in them, which we know that I believe Sweden is the leading country where microchipping is in concern, right? So they claim that none of their athletes are microchipped at this moment, but it's a future plan that we know Esau Edom will not just do to the athletes, but to the masses of the world that loves the bread and circuses, love the course of this world. Right, as the scripture tells us, he said the will in their heart that no man can find out the work which Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai make it from the beginning. Right, and this is something, the microchipping agenda that we see in push today is something that was seen by the ancient apostle John on the Isle of Patmos. Right, that will come into effect, that has been taking effect in our world. Right, these are part of their plan. This is what John saw. John saw their plan to have not just athletes microchip, but people in general microchip. But these devils have been receiving a pushback, feedback, negative feedback concerning, just piercing people, putting implants into people, throughout the years. Right, as you have here this article, which I want to share from 8 years ago, or more than 8 years ago, 9 years ago, 2017, October the 10th, by Martha Kellner. It's titled, Call for Athletes to be Fitted with Microchips in Fight Against Drug Cheats. Right? It says Chief Executive of World Olympians Association makes implant suggestion. We're prepared to chip our dogs, so why aren't we prepared to chip ourselves? You see there, right? And from time to time, you'll notice that with all the different situations that arise, or problems that tend to arise, challenges that tends to arise, they have been presenting implants as the solution. That's not something now. That is something that they have been processing. That is something that they have been planning. That is something that they want to accomplish. Having people microchipped, right? Revelation 13:16, the mark of the beast, right? And now there's a general face. There's a main face behind having people microchip, right? As you see here, the Chief Executive of World Olympians Association makes implant suggestion, and that guy goes by the name of Mike Miller, as the article will tell us here. Right, the debate about the fitting of microchips raises the issue of whether it would be an invasion of athletes' privacy. Right, this right here is device. This is what John the Revelator saw. This falls under that mark that was described in Revelation, in the book of Revelation, throughout the book. Right, that was recorded there, documented by the apostle. Right. It says athletes need to be fitted with microchips in a similar way that dogs are in the fight against drug cheats in sport, according to a leading representative of international sports people, Mike Miller. The World Olympians Association chief executive claimed that radical anti-doping methods, including implants to recognize the effects of banned substances, are needed to protect clean sport. Right? And when you look up who this guy was, Mike Miller, this is him here. I'll bring him up closer. Right? As I said, there's a main face behind who wants to have you marked, who wants to have you chipped. No coincidence. You look at the different advocates to having microchips done into human bodies, you'll see something comparison, right? Something that is constant. A red man behind it. Right? They're not white. They're red. They go back to the nation of people called Edom or Esau. Right? Which was the twin brother of Jacob, that was identified in prophecy as a red dragon. Right? Even a piercing serpent. Isaiah 27:1. And what do they want to pierce you with? Why are they called that piercing serpent? Because in these last days, their mind would be to have devices like this embedded into people. Right? So they've sought for different ways and reasons to have microchips implanted into people, claiming that in this article here, it would assist with the fight against drug cheats in sports. Right? But it had some kickback, as I said, or pushback. As you read here in the article, it says some people say we shouldn't do this to people. Miller said, well, we're a nation of dog lovers. We're prepared to chip our dogs, and it doesn't seem to harm them. So why aren't we prepared to chip ourselves? Miller claims a breakthrough in microchip technology is on the horizon, and the testers need to be aware of developments. His fear is that drug cheats could exploit the technology to avoid detection through self-monitoring, alerting them when their blood has returned to normal levels before testers arrive. Speaking to anti-doping leaders at a Westminster Forum on Integrity in Sport, Miller said, in order to stop doping, we need to chip our athletes where the latest technology is there. Some people say it's an invasion of privacy. Well, sport is a club, and people don't have to join the club if they don't want to, if they can't follow the rules. Microchips get over the issue of whether the technology can be manipulated because they have no control over the device. The problem with the current anti-doping system is that all it says is that at a precise moment in time there are no banned substances, but we need a system which says you are illegal substance free at all times, and if there are changes in markers they will be detected. The WOA supports the 48 National Olympians Association and 100,000 living Olympians, although Miller said he was not speaking on behalf of the organization. I'm just throwing the idea out there, he said. I'm gauging reaction from people, but we do need to think of new ways to protect clean sport. I am no Steve Jobs, but we need to spend the money and use the latest technology. Steve Jobs, I believe, was the former or the founder of Apple, right? With all these different technological apps, right, or companies, they're today going towards implants, right? These tech billionaires today, they're going towards having people implanted with devices, right? So this was inputted here, this technology and the use of microchips by Mike Miller, right? But there's been some advancements. As we see today, there is Neuralink in operation, and Neuralink has also been integrated within the sports world, right? Having a partnership with an app by the name of Player Pulse, that was formerly known as Soccer Pulse, which gives coaching a bit more advancement, right? Being able to track and detect the performances and even cognitive abilities of players, right? I have a little article here on that as well to share, right? Neuralink and Soccer Pulse relation, right? Is an AI overview. It says Neuralink and Soccer Pulse are two distinctly different technologies that intersect through the growing field of sports, neuroscience, and biomechanics. Neuralink, an advanced brain-computer interface, BCI, designed to allow individuals to control computers, phones, and robotic limbs with their thoughts. Sounds like a miracle, right? And that's what the scriptures say they will perform in these last days, these devils, right? Through that chip, through the technology. It says, developed by Elon Musk company, its core medical goal is to restore autonomy to people with severe paralysis and neurological disorders. Soccer Pulse, a sports analytic and fitness tracking application for soccer coaches and players. It is used to monitor an athlete's physical metrics, training loads, and overall recovery, ensuring players optimize their training intensity and avoid injury. The two entities made headlines in April 2024 with the announcement of a strategic integration partnership. The collaboration aims to merge Neuralink's brain-machine interface with Soccer Pulse's performance platform to analyze cognitive performance. Key aspects of this partnership include cognitive analytics, providing coaches and athletes with deep insights into cognitive metrics such as focus, decision-making, and reaction times under pressure. Real-time activity tracking, leveraging neural sensors to capture live brain activity during matches and training, offering objective data to improve on-field strategy and execution. For context, while Neuralink has been heavily focused on medical and assistive applications for quadriplegics, people that are paralyzed, its technology has potential future application in tracking and enhancing cognitive loads and neuroreaction times for elite athletes. Conversely, Soccer Pulse caters to the practical, physical, and tactical demands of the sport, offering immediate recovery and performance feedback. Right? Neuralink here integrating within the sports world. So what does that say for these athletes? Very soon a lot of them will have that chip embedded, if not already. As I said, I looked it up and they claim that no athletes are known as of now to have microchips embedded in them as yet. Because we know that is what coming down the pipe, and you know what Neuralink has been about. Neuralink has been about having people merged with technology, right? Creating a cyborg, if you mean. Right? And a lot of jigs into sports. A lot of jigs want to be athletes. A lot of jigs want to be famous, get our athletic fame. So there's a lot of jigs that's going to take the chip. They're going to get chipped. And then ultimately destroys. There's detriment behind this integration with technology and sports. The detriment is having that device inside of you. This has always been their plan, and that's what this article here shows. They presented it in a way to fight against drug cheats, and now today they're saying, hey, guess what? It's going to help coaches and athletes with their performance, the altogether cognitive performance. They're bringing it in a deceitful way, and this is what we've been telling you, while other groups has been telling you ain't no microchip, right? But articles say differently. Articles past and present say differently. Microchips is a major part of their plan, and being the cunning hunters that they are, they're looking for different ways and means to implement it. Right? This Habakkuk chapter 2 and verses 2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision. It is what John received, the vision on the Isle of Patmos, and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Right? I believe in the NLT, it tells you that the runner might carry the correct.
Yeah, you should read that, because that hits home. NLT. Matter of fact, if you don't read it, I'll read it myself for the audience out there.
Message. According to what the vision says. And the correct message for that vision that John the Revelator saw on the Isle of Patmos is implants. They're coming with implants. Right? The rulers that be, they want to have you embedded with a subdermal chip. Right? Verse 3 says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. So back in 2017 when Mike Miller gave that option of microchipping athletes, it wasn't the time. But it's coming soon. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. And how it speaks? Through these different articles. Right? Through the things that we're seeing happening. It's speaking for itself. Right? People already have.
Yeah, when does the mark really speak? It's speaking now, it's whispering now. But when it actually speaks is when they do it. When they say the whole planet's going to have to get chipped. Or Sweden passed laws where everybody has to get chipped. Or China, everybody has to get chipped. You know if it's in Sweden and China and Africa, Jake don't know what's going on. And you got Bishop Nate over there calling himself teaching them that they're Israelites and not teaching them about the mark of the beast, which that's the wolf coming. You know, you're to warn them. You know, pursuant to Isaiah 62, Ezekiel chapter 3. That whole chapter is dedicated to warning them, as well as Ezekiel chapter 2, Ezekiel chapter 3, and many other precepts. Jeremiah 1. You're supposed to Habakkuk. He's reading out of Habakkuk. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. Let me do this here. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to Habakkuk. I'll read in the Amplified. Then I'll do a cross reference. Come on now. Okay, here we go. Habakkuk. Waiting for it to come up. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me do this. Bear with me for a minute, y'all. Come on now. Let me see. Tower. Lord said, playing turntables for the revisions. Okay, let's go ahead and let's go to the amplified. Let's see what we're going to find here. Bear with me for a minute. Come on, man. Okay, I will stand on my guard post and station myself on the tower, the watchtower, the watchman, a watchman watch on the watchtower, Isaiah 62, and I will keep watch, and I will keep watch. Let's deal with TGC Ministries for a minute. When was the last time he did a video? 2 weeks ago? Going on 3 weeks? They hopped off the tower. They're not watchmen. They were never watchmen. They were fake watchmen. And I will keep watch. Like I said, brother Hassad should have just kept going. You know, this guy's taking a break, and I'm going to keep going. Not we're going to reassess how we broke this thing down. You know, whether it's wrong or not. You're dead wrong. You guys are done. So now I will keep watch to see what he will say to me. And that's us. We read the scriptures, we see things that happen in the news, and we filter these things that happen around the world in the news through the scriptures. And then we tell people, this event that happened is a fulfillment of this particular prophecy. And what answer I will give as his spokesman, because we are spokesmen, right? Prophets. Meditate not on what you're going to say on that hour, for it's not you that speaks, but the Father that speaketh through you. So we're his spokesman. We're speaking his words, not our words. When I am reproved because the first chapter of Habakkuk the prophet was complaining to the Most High. So Most High reproved him. Chill out, man. I'm going to tell you what's going on. It says, then Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision. You see a vision, write it. John, when he saw John 10, I believe that's the 7th verse if I'm not mistaken. He heard, I believe it was 7 thunders. He was ready to write down what he experienced, and the angel said, do not write. So he saw or heard things, and he was ready to write. He said, nope, don't write it. So right here, the Lord is saying, write it. Write down everything. Everything that you see, every dream, every vision I give you, write it down for a future time. Then Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and engrave it plainly on clay tablets, so that the one who reads it will run. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, or the visions is yet for an appointed time, or future time. It hurries toward the goal of fulfillment. What hurries towards the goal of fulfillment? The microchip, one of the most important prophecies in the scriptures. And how IUIC and ISBK can't get it is beyond me. I believe they both see it, but maybe they took the bag. I don't know. It will not be, and if they don't correct it when it comes, and they tell the people go ahead and take it, there's nothing wrong. If General Yohana said, I'll take 3 and 4 of them bad boys, that means you're not of the elect, and you're going to die here with your followers. It will not fail, even though, and I'm still waiting for an answer from anybody concerning Captain Zarek saying that he at one time believed that the mark of the beast was a microchip. And there's a statement that was made by Elder Yashwamba, which is the head elder of GMS Dallas. He made the statement, so I'm pretty sure there's other brothers that are privy to that information. But I want Captain Zarek to say it. Oh, I never said that. Elder Yashwamba is lying. Oh, I never said that. I said that, but General Yohana showed me different. Or whatever. He can tell me anything. Even though it delays, it's delaying. Wait patiently. So we gotta wait. Don't turn your back on the plow. For it for it, because it will surely come. I will not delay. So anyway, what I'm going to do, let me go back to the King James. Okay, for the vision yet for the vision yet for the answer me and said, write the vision, make it plain upon table. Let me do this. I'm going to do a cross reference. And thou shalt write upon the stones all the words of the law very plainly. Good scripture. Isaiah 8:1. Moreover, Yahweh said unto me, take thee a great roll, and write in it with a man's pen concerning Maher Shila Best. Isaiah 30 verse 8. Now go write it before them in a tablet or table, and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever, meaning prophecies. So anyway, let's come on back to here.
Having microchips embedded in them. People already paying differently. There's a different way to pay. And this is what John Express connected with the mark of the beast, the microchipping. Right? He connected it to buying and selling. You couldn't buy or sell unless you had that mark. What does that say? The way you pay will change. And that's not what we're seeing today. The way people paying around the world is drastically changing. They're moving away from cash money. They're moving away from contact payments to contactless transactions, contactless payments. Swipe of a hand. Scan. All these are building blocks, or gradualistic steps towards having that microchip system in place, right? Or becoming the new norm. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. So it's not gonna lie, not gonna support lies. Like these other prophets have been bringing out lies. It doesn't support your lies, because it's not coming with lies. It's coming just as it was expressed to be. Right? And you go into the word mark, it goes into a physical mark. You're not talking about no sin. Right? It isn't talking about sleeping with white women or Christianity. All those are lies. When you say the mark of the beast is sin, you're lying. The mark of the beast is like these Christians. Like Seventh-day Adventists, they say the mark of the beast is the Sunday law, which falls under the blue laws. As a lie. When the vision comes to pass, when it speaks in these last days, it's not going to support any lie. It's going to support the truth. And that's what we've been bringing out. Right? It says, do it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. That is it. When it comes, it's coming fast. And that is why the talk of implanting people with devices is spreading so fast. It's all over. Like almost every day you can see a new article concerning it. This patient over here get chipped. New patient Neuralink patient, you synchron patient, right? So it's not tarrying in these last days. So now it's time to understand what the truth is concerning these visions. Right? Knowing that you're Israelite is one thing. It's good. It's good that you know you're Israelite. But do you know the truth according to the visions that was seen? Because they're coming in. And if you don't know the truth according to the vision, then you might very well be deceived into receiving that mark. Right? You have to believe in what the vision is. You have to believe in the words of the prophet. Alright, it says in verse 4 here, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, pertaining to the rulers that be, the ones that are bringing this mark. They're not upright. His soul which is lifted up, it's lifted up, meaning he's proud. Right? He wants to be God on earth. Right? It says he's not upright in him. He's a beast. Which beast is he? He's that red dragon. That beast of Revelation 13. Beast go on all fours, right? They're not upright. This is a beast man. It's talking about a beast man here. Habakkuk 2 and 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. We're going to live by faith in Yahushua. When they bring the chip and for you to eat and to drink, to live ultimately, how are we going to live? We're going to live by faith. Faith in Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, understanding that this is where they were heading. This is where it was all leading to. Right? So knowing the truth of the Bible is of paramount importance. And that includes knowing the truth about the visions that were seen by the ancient prophets. This 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. And reading at verses... I start at verses 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means. This is what it says it here. By any means. Right? Because there's a lot of deceivers out there. A lot of men posing themselves to be the prophets of the Lord. And they have seen nothing. They don't understand what the mark of the beast is. Simple thing. A way to identify the deceivers, ask them what the mark of the beast is. And if they tell you anything outside of that chip, those implants, that's a deceiver right there. Right? 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first. Right, and that happened to us going back to what, 70 AD. Right, our people began to fall away, fell by the edge of the sword of the Romans, and was caused to flee into Africa. Some of our people also went into Europe, and then we were taken through process of time, taken to these Americas, where our people remain in a fallen state. Right, they fell from their identity. Lost their heritage, lost faith in their power, their true power, and that man of sin be revealed. And that is what's happening in these last days. The man of sin is being revealed. Right? The man that wants to have you microchipped is being revealed. Esau, Edom. The son of perdition. Perdition goes into what? Destruction. Go into the word here. Apoleo or Apolea. Right? From a presumed derivative of G 622. Ruin or loss. Physical, spiritual, or eternal. Right? Damnable. Nation. A nation of people. That nation is Edom. Destruction, die, perdition, perish, pernicious ways, waste. And that's one of his names too, waste. Wasted away, waste. Right? a perishing, definition 2, a perishing, ruin, destruction of money. Of money. Who controls the money? And money is heading down a very destructive road. Your money today, your financial system today is heading down a very pernicious way to destroy you. Through them digital currency, digital payments is going to transfer into or translate into microchip payments. And by adopting such form of payment, you will be destroyed. Today's what is being revealed in these last days. Who the man of sin is and who the son of perdition is. The man that controls the money. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself, more clues here, above all that is called God. And with this, hold my...
I gotta go move my car. I should be back. But I'm gonna let him cook. He's cooking, so I'm gonna let him continue to cook, so y'all can get fed. So he's doing the right thing. The Spirit's definitely on him. Shalom.
Microchip push, the implants, we've been hearing them talking about replacing God. Elon Musk recently saying this is the Jesus-like miracles this chip is gonna perform. Right? God-like power. And this is what they've been desirous of having. That God-like status. But through their technology. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, shewing himself that he is God. Who's the people that shew themselves to be God? Who's the people that did iconoclasm, the whitewashing of images, the destroying of ancient images, and put up themselves in replacement of the true images. More and more truth is coming out, revealing these devils. We had recently with about a year or two ago with Vladimir Putin bringing out the Russian icon, showing you that guess what? The Messiah and the children of Israel were actually people of color. We don't see that on display in the Sistine Chapel. We see in the Sistine Chapel and in these churches around the world today. And if you look up on Google, even so, God, you just type in God or Jesus, you'll see a so-called white man. They're trying to show themselves that they are God. That is the people here, right, that is called the man of sin, the son of perdition. Right? So you have to know this. You have to know who is the man that wants to destroy you. Verse 5, it says, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. And now ye know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. And the revealing of him includes also the revealing of his agenda. As it tells us in 2 Corinthians 2 and 11, lest Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. His devices were revealed. His plans were revealed unto us through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Right? Apostle Paul speaking here, in the time where he was under the Roman Empire. And that is the mystery of iniquity that he's speaking of. Them Romans. Right? Said they were already at work. They were in power. Posing themselves to be God. Right? The Romans, the Caesars, and they had a custom of deifying themselves. They always wanted to be worshipped and praised. And this will be seen happening all over again, but this time they're using technology. Right? They think that technology is going to cause them to accomplish. But the Lord says what He's going to allow them to do what they're doing for a time. The end result is to be taken out of the way. They're going to be removed. The whole fourth industrial revolution or fifth industrial revolution, their plan, their New World Order plan, will be taken out of the way. It's not going to last. Verse 8. It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. That is by the prophets, speaking and declaring his intents. That's how he's being destroyed. Right? The plans that he's having, there's men that's squealing on him. Right? He's being revealed through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. The Lord showing these secrets to his servants, the prophets, which are likened in scripture to being his mouth. You read in Hosea 12 and 10, he said, I have spoken by the prophets. Right? It says, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So the Lord ultimately is going to return and disappoint this devil. When he thinks to himself, the scripture says, when he thinks to himself that he is going to accomplish, that's when the Lord is going to rain it upon him. Job chapter 20. When he's about to fill his belly, power shall rain it upon him while he is eating. And I show Yahushai's return at the time of what? The nuclear destruction. Because while they're setting the stage for total control through technology, they're also being geared at what? Bringing total destruction through those nuclear missiles. So they're making a small device. They're making small devices. The Lord has them making small devices that are connected to bigger devices that they've also created. The small devices are going to be mandated. The chip is going to be mandated. And then the big devices are going to be shut. Are going to be used as the judgment for receiving those small devices. A little device but has heavy consequence behind it. Right? Verses 8. I read it again. It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Because the Lord Yahushai is the one that has been pronounced to reign. Not these devils. These devils were given a time of rulership. Verse 9, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Right? And them lying wonders goes into what? Their technology. Their science. Right? As you go into the word lying here, pseudos, G5579, a falsehood, lying, conscious and intentional falsehood. In a broad sense, whatever is not what it seems to be. Right? Of perverse, impious, deceitful precepts. Right? And this is it. Is a whole deceit, a lie, into making you think that this device is being implemented for your convenience. Making you think that it's just about, assisting with the fight against cheating in sports, drug cheats. It's just to assist coaches and athletes with their cognitive performances. It's just to assist paraplegics in, using their limbs once again. It's just to upgrade mankind. It's all lies. Right? So while you people focus, a lot of you people focused on praying against the spiritual entity Satan, there's a man on this earth that is Satan, operating satanic with all power and signs and lying wonders. That is the man you're really supposed to be against. But now, if you speak against that man, you sound like a racial person. Well, guess what? The Bible is a book about races, and different races of people were given different lots. Right? Different rules. The so-called white race was given the role of being Satan incarnate. Satan simply means what? Adversary. They are the adversary, the main adversary of our people. And they're even adverse to the Most High and His Son. And that's why the Lord said what the people, there's a people, Malachi 1 and 4, against whom the Lord will have indignation forever. When the Lord comes back, He's coming back to disappoint them and their devices. Verse 10, it says, with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish. So those that are of this world will be deceived by these devils, and they're going to perish. That's the non-elect. Right? They're going to be deceived into receiving this device. Because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. You have to be able to receive this truth, the love of this truth, the whole truth, 100% truth, even the truth concerning what the mark of the beast is. Let me read it again, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 10. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish. Why? Because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. They didn't receive it, they received lies. They thought they knew what it was. They trusted in the lies of other teachers. That's why we had to thank the Lord that we're able to see. And the Lord continues to show us. As the scripture says, signs confirming the words with signs following. These different articles that we go into are confirmation to us that, yeah, this is what they're coming with. This is the mark. This perfectly aligns with what the vision says. Shalom to all viewing. Shalom Akia. Yahbashem Yoshai Bashem Kakedash Brakata. From GMS Messenger 144, K bar 7, Romans 11 and verse 4. It says, but what said the answer of power unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. Right? The Lord reserved to himself 7,000 men, and that's 7,000. 7 represents completion. Right? The number of whom were actually given in Revelation was 7, Revelation 14, beginning with 144,000 men. The prophets ultimately. Right? That will not bow the knee to the image of Baal. The Baal of this time, the Lord of this time. Right? The idol that is set up in this time. Because Baal goes back to an idol. Right? A false god. The false god of this time is Esau, Edom, and his technologies. There's men that has been reserved by the Heavenly Father to not bow to this agenda. That will speak out against this agenda. And this is what we've been doing, beginning with the elders and apostles, speaking out against the image of Baal and his mark, his new world order that is centered around having people microchipped. Right? That's the elect. That's why verses 7 also tells us to what then Israel had not obtained, that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. The ones that bowed, they were blinded. They couldn't see. No matter how you break it down to them, they just couldn't see it. They didn't receive the love of the truth, because it's love. The reason why we go into these lessons extensively is because we have a desire, like Apostle Paul said in Romans chapter 10, brethren, my heart's desires for Israel that they might be saved. And by putting all these lessons out there may be believers, right? There may be elect members, I should say, that would be awoken to believing the message of truth and be saved. Right? But going back to the 2 Thessalonians 2:11 says here, and for this cause power shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. There's a lot that's going to believe the lies of these technologies. And the Lord said he caused them to believe it. He gave them that strong delusion. They're deluded through them doctrines that they're being taught, through them doctrines that they hold on to. My pastor said to take it. My pastor said it's okay. Or my bishop said it's okay to take it. That's not the mark of the beast, and they believe that. Verse 12, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth. The truth is to not take it. But they didn't believe that, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. They had pleasure in the false doctrines, the way of this world, becoming an athlete. Right? It's okay for you to, pursue an athletic career. It's okay for you to, gain fame in this world while serving God. There's a lot of doctrines like that, where people claim that they're God-fearing and they believe in God. I'm a born-again Christian, water baptized. But you up there acting in Hollywood? You playing in the FIFA's World Cup? You in the Olympics? And you claiming to be godly? And you're a friend of this world, you're integrated within the world system fully. Because one thing we all have to work, we all have to, as scripture say, use this world. But when all you could think about is making it successfully, and all you could think about is achieving a great career, a grand career in this world, that is you being engrossed. The scripture said, no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life. Because you may end up chipped. As the scripture even says here, let me read this in closing. Isaiah chapter 36. Isaiah 36 and verses 6. It says, Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed, on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh
That's not talking about the actual chip, but we use that. They're qualified. That's talking about the chip. It's not talking about the actual chip. It's talking about something else, which you probably explain. Hey, it's still playing, so that's good. It's a good thing. Yeah, I just had to move my car. Anyway, acting up again.
Egypt to all that trust in him. Right? And this Egypt is not referring to Mitzrayim, right? Or where we came out from, right, in ancient time. Where we had to cross the Gulf of Suez, fleeing Pharaoh and his horsemen.
Yeah, he's breaking it down right. So, so you don't jump up and see, that ain't talking about the microchip. You're right. We just use it.
Or his chariots. This Egypt is representing America today. Right? The place of our bondage, and by extension this world that has been influenced by that whore. That spiritual Sodom and Egypt is a global Egypt we're living in right now. The world today is under a whole system of bondage. Trusting in this world is like trusting in Egypt. That will ultimately lead you to be in what? Pierce. That's what it's saying here. If you go into it will go into your hand and pierce it. Physically pierce it. There's a lot of different warnings through scripture telling you that guess what? They have mind to pierce you. You trust in this world, you may end up with a microchip inside of your body. Right? So what we supposed to trust in? Trust in the Lord. Give us this day our daily bread. Right? Don't say that now I have to be successful in this world and have all these different big dreams and aspirations, because it's all roads are leading to being chipped.
There you go.
Lead a humble life. And that's why a lot of us, although we had mind of having careers before the truth, we left off from these things. The Lord caused us to leave off from these things because this is where these things are heading. Right? I have one more in closing here. It's the book of Jeremiah chapter 17. And verses 5, it says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, cursed be the man that trusteth in man." Especially if you're trusting in that man of sin that we read of in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And that is what we see a lot of our people, their heart, their mind has departed from the Lord. Their mind or their heart is now set on making it in this world. I must make it. I must get rich. I must have the best. I must live the best life. I must be somebody in this world. That is your heart departing from the Lord, because the Lord, He didn't call us to make it in this world. The scripture says He chose the poor of this world, but rich in faith. We're supposed to be looking at the world to come, making it famous in the world to come. Hebrews tells us, "For here have we no continuing city, but we what seek one to come." But it takes faith to have that type of desire. And faith is a gift. So we understand what it is. You didn't have the faith to believe in the world to come. So we have to thank the Lord daily as every time you wake up in the morning, You go through the day and you had that faith still embedded within you, you believe in that world to come, that Yahweh Shai is going to reign in. That's something to thank the Lord for, because a lot of people walking around without that faith right now. They're missing that key ingredient, faith. Hebrews 4 tells us the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith. So the prophets are here preaching, we're doing the lessons every day or daily, weekly, and they just can't get, they're just not registering. The affairs of this life more important to them. Verse 6, for he shall be like the heat of the desert, and shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, in a salt land, and not inhabited. Right? Heat in the desert. When you go into the word heat here, it says naked, figuratively poor, destitute, stripped. That's what it leading to. The man who trusts in man, trusts in the system, you're going to end up, in the worst case, you're going to have the shittier end of the stick in the end. Especially when the famine hits, when Jacob's trouble fully hits in. Our temptation comes in. Those of you that think to yourself that you set yourself up nice for this world, you have heaped treasures for the last days, tables are going to turn on you. These last days that we heading into calls for faith in a divine power. The leaders of the world already telling you you're going to own nothing. That's what they're telling you, you're going to own nothing. You're going to be destitute, poor. Right?
Especially when that chip comes. You're going to be kicked out of the system. It's down the block. I estimate 6 months from now or so. 2027. Oh, well, it's June. It's June. July, August, September, October, November, December. So in 7 months, it'll be 2027. They'll probably rein it in on the year of 2027.
Says, but they shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, in a salt land and not inhabited. We're not going to the word salt. Salt, malacha, right? Understood as land, properly salted, i.e., desert, barren land, salt land, barrenness. That's why we're going into barrenness. Right? To be bare, have nothing, same essence. Right? But verse 7 tells us, blessed is the man that trusteth in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and whose hope the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is. You put your hope in the Lord. What's going to happen to that man that puts hope in the Lord? It says, verse 8, for he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh. Right? Because the Lord says he's going to what? Take care of those men. When famine comes, scripture says they shall laugh. But her leaf shall be green, and shall not...
Since he mentioned that, let me go to the precept real quick. We put something in there. And I want to read this in the Amplified. This is Job chapter 5. Job 5. Because we're going to be protected. We look to be protected by the Most High. In 12. Let me go ahead and pull it up in the King James. We go down to the let me go ahead and do this. I'll go right to the 12th verse. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. That goes into the mark of the beast of technology. Let me just open that up. He disappointed the devices. Let's look up the word devices. Machashaba. It's feminine. Kashab. Makashab. Thought, device, plan, purpose, invention. The mark of the beast, this technology. So that's part of that is the chip. He disappointed the devices, their technology of the crafty. The word there is I-rum. Subtile, shrewd, crafty, sly, sensible, crafty, shrewd, sensible, prudent. He's pull a fast one on you. Because when they push the chip on you, they know that it's, and I said this before, I'm gonna continue to say it. They know that the mark of the beast, the microchip, is a fulfillment of Revelation 13 and 16 and 17. Don't you know they watch all our videos? So they're gonna keep a close eye. Look, when they make this thing mandatory, anytime we do a video on the mark, they're gonna cut your video. Medical, going against medical advice or whatever they say. They did that with the C. Ragamuffin. People talking about the C. Ragamuffin now, and they ain't taking down videos because people woke up and found out that it was all a scam. So the super elite know when they chip everybody, they know this is the fulfillment of Revelation 13 and 16. Crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Their enterprise are going to be performed to a certain point, and then they're going to be destroyed. Because they want everybody in digital slavery forever. And that's not going to happen. Okay. The word here is, I'm sorry, what was the damn word? I'm sorry. Enterprise. Okay, enterprise. The word here is Thawa Shaya. Wisdom, sound knowledge, which is science. Success, that our enterprise be crowned with success. And nuit coeptus, that our enterprise be crowned with success. Sound or efficient wisdom, abiding success. Sound or efficient wisdom, abiding success of the effect of sound wisdom. Enterprise, wisdom. Enterprise has a lot to do with business too. Substance. So that goes into the chip too. I'm sorry, let's come on back. I'm gonna come on back to he disappointed the devices of the crafty so that his hands cannot perform their enterprise. They're not going to put everybody in a digital slavery for the rest of eternity. Most High is going to allow that to go through so people could be tested. Revelation 3 verse 10, and then the end shall come. So when they make this thing mandatory, we know that we're out of here inside of maybe a couple of months. So that's what we're looking. That's the prophecy that we're looking forward to. The chipping. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. When you get knocked out, your head, you know, in boxing, you get hit with a good shot. Sometimes you just get knocked out before you hit the ground, and you just fall straight like a board. That's how Esau's going down, the missiles. They meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as in the night. They meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as in the night. They're going to come together with their plans, and their plans are going to be upsetted. Go back to the 12th verse. They cannot perform their enterprise. They chip everybody, the New World Order. You shall have nothing and be happy about it. That's not going to work. But he saveth the poor, which are the Israelites, from the sword, from their mouth, and from the hand of the mighty, the military. So the poor Israelites have hope, and iniquity stoppeth her mouth. Behold, happy is the man whom the Most High correcteth. Therefore despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty. Whatever happens, just take it. Take it like a man. For he maketh sore and bindeth up. He woundeth, and his hands make whole. He shall deliver thee, and we shall use this all the time. We got to be delivered in between the 6th and the 7th trumpet. The 7th trumpet represent what? The missiles. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yeah, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee, because we're going to be beamed up into them ships if you're one of the elect. And famine he shall redeem thee from death. We're going to eat, Isaiah 65, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it comes. What destruction? The destruction of this man's system. Where's that? Jeremiah. We heard the fall, and I forget where that's it. We heard the sound from the Red Sea. I believe the phrase goes, "At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh." That's also in Isaiah 65. Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. We're going to be in league with the beasts of the earth. For thou shalt be in league, right, with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. And thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace. You're going to be watched over, and thou shalt visit thy habitation and shalt not sin. Ultimately, that's the kingdom. I'm not going to read it anymore. Let me see. Give me a second. Let me do this. Red Sea. I believe part of the phrase is Red Sea. Give me a second. Okay, here it is, Jeremiah. Yep. I thought it was Jeremiah 50 or 51. It's Jeremiah 49, verse 21. The earth is moved. What's the only thing that can literally move the whole planet Earth? Missiles. At the noise of their fall. Whose fall? Babylon fall. When you open it up, let's do this. Show you that it's talking about modern Babylon. For you newer cats out there, give me a second. See, the Most High gave us all these tools, the blue letter and other different tools. What was I going to do? Babylon. So you know it's talking about not the old Babylon, but the new Babylon. Where am I? Edom. It's against Edom. Therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh that he have taken against Edom, the Edomites, and his purposes that he have purposed against the inhabitants of Teman, the Germans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out, small hats. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Teman and the Amalek, they're working together. That's why this guy cursed out, Nero 47 cursed out Netanyahu. I forget exactly what he said. It's something new I heard. I was kind of half asleep when I heard it. But anyway, it says the earth is moved at the noise of their fall, at the cry, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. So that blast is going to be so loud that it's going to be heard all the way in the so-called Middle East. Plus, you're going to have a war. The troops, all of the troops of the United States, let's say, and other major modern military, they're going to all be in that area of the Levant, south of the Levant, where they're going to be facing the Strait of Hormuz too, which that's the Persian, if I'm not mistaken, is that the Persian Gulf? But you have the Strait of Hormuz, so they're going to be facing the Strait of Hormuz. So you're going to have all those military people, modern military down there, and then none of them is coming back. That whole place, the so-called Palestine, the Levant, is going to be totally destroyed but built back up. As we have said, America's going to be destroyed but never built back up. So that's when it says it's going to be heard at the Red Sea, because it's going to be blasted by the Red Sea. Because the U.S. military and Northern armies, their back is going to be toward the Red Sea. So this is beautiful, man. These devils are trying to upset. They know everything that's going to happen according to us, the way we teach, especially the prophecies. Be occupied in prophecies. I believe that's Ecclesiasticus 39, if I'm not mistaken. Even the Apostle Paul said that in 1 Corinthians chapter 14, the first couple of verses, that the most important thing is to prophesy.
Not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. Think about it. It's a poetic description, right? That expresses that during the time of hardship, these men will be taken care of. My servant shall eat, Isaiah 65. My servant shall drink. Isaiah 33. It says his bread shall be given him, his water sure, not through a chip, but through faith. I'll close with these precepts here from the Common Board. GMS must endure again to Warak. Colossians 3 verses 2 to 4. Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth, because the things on this earth is controlled by the wicked, and the wicked wants to have you pierced. For ye are dead, and your life is hid with Hamashiach in power. Ye are dead, and your life is hid with Hamashiach in power. What it means by ye are dead, you're dead to this world. You're supposed to be dead to this world. Not trying to live your best life. You carry always being about in the body the dying of our Lord Yahushua, the scripture says. It says, verse 4, it says, when Hamashiach, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. The mind frame of waiting on Yahushua to live. That's the mindset you're supposed to have on. Wait, I'm waiting on Yahushua to start to live. We're going to soon live our best lives. When Yahushua comes. And the only thing that we should desire to have inside of our bodies, or inside of us, I should say, is that new covenant. Them laws embedded inside of us. No chip. We understand that the only thing necessary to be inside of us is what the new covenant tells us of. That new programming in righteousness. A microchip in your body don't make you righteous. It doesn't make you eternal. The microchip implants doesn't make you eternal. Although they're trying to say that they're coming closer to accomplishing immortality. That's the talks that they're talking right now. By 2030 they might be able to accomplish immortality.
I don't see them making it in 2030. Damn, we almost in 2027. 28, 29, 30. That's 3 years. So we're pretty much 3.5 years away from 2030. I don't think this devil's gonna make it to 2030. I'd be pissed off if he does. Hopefully, we'll be in the kingdom sometime in 2027. Hopefully. Too many things are happening.
A lot of lies. Lie again. Lying wonders. Immortality will only be accomplished through the new covenant. And that new covenant was granted to the children of Israel. Beginning with the elect. That will trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Not no chip. This doesn't give you immortality. This gives you destruction. Alright? So I'll close it out there with that. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutations to the elect. Your brother Calab saying, keep feeding your faith, starve your doubts to death, stay strong. Shalom, Labakariam, Shalom to the elect.
He's no longer brother Calab, he's elder Calab, which Calab is Hebrew for dog. Dogs are faithful, so he's faithful to putting these videos up. So I don't know the brother personally, I've never met him. Maybe I did. Met a lot of people. A lot of brothers come up, hey brother, my head be somewhere else sometimes. So if I met you beautiful. But he's an elder now, so you're no longer to call yourself a brother. You can call yourself brother elder, but you're an elder. You can continue to call yourself brothers. I'm a brother. I'm gonna call you elder. All right. Anyway, Shalom. On to the. Wait a minute. Let's go check. Let's check out the video. Oh boy. Gotta wait a minute. Projection as a defense and lie IQs. Yeah, we see right through these devils. I mean, we do the same thing, you know. You know, we learned that from Esau. Let me see, emplacements. The placements are here. Humanoids, war bots that don't sound good. Live fires, mortars for U.S. military at Vegas test range. So I gotta watch this, gotta watch this, gotta watch this. Live in 30 minutes, Esau was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in truth, because there is no truth in him. Republicans used to call this anti-American. I gotta watch her. Gotta watch my girl Kim Iverson. Will be one of my concubines if she's not a Jake. Good looking woman. Very attractive woman. You know me. Let me listen to a little bit of this. It's a marathon of sorts. Let's go.
Rakata Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Wachakadash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is, If You Heard the Secret, Then You're a Prophet. And pretty much this title comes from the Elder Apostle. They were, the apostles and the bishop were doing the live, on the street preaching this past Saturday, and Elder Apostle mentioned that something, I believe it was something that the Elder Apostle Gabar read, and he said that, he just said it, out of the blue, and I said, that sounds like a good title for a lesson, so I wrote it down. If you heard the secret, then you're a prophet. In this lesson, we can get some little bit more understanding in that. I looked up a couple of words in the Etam online, which we're going to tap into, and then build a lesson from there. Those will be edifying. A couple of precepts came to mind, and then I went to the blue letter and followed some other precepts on there. And, we're just going to go with the Spirit. I'm going to follow this list. If the Spirit has other stuff come up, then I'll just, follow that and let the Spirit guide it. The Spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So the first thing I did was look up the word secret, right? The word secret, late 14th century, that which is hidden from human understanding, and that's pretty much what we're dealing with. And it's hidden from human understanding because it's not revealed to all. It's only revealed to a few. Now let's get into that real quick. This is the first precept I have, is Romans 16:25. Now to him that is in power to establish you according to my gospel and the preaching of Yahweh Mashiach, according to the revelation of the mystery, which was kept secret since the world began. So these truths that we speak about, they've been hidden for ages. Matter of fact, I had this for later. Let's get it now. And those would like to remember their other precept. I had this one for a little bit later, but
yeah, that when we did the Saturday thing, it was a list I put together. I didn't even get all of them. I got most of the precepts, but that's a good. Every once in a while, I'm gonna consult that list, because in order for you to be a prophet, the Most High has to give you the secrets. He has to give you his counsel, right? His mysteries. That a lot of guys out there that are not prophets. So, sorry to disappoint you guys, bro. You ain't no prophet. But if you're out there teaching Israel, you teaching the way we teach, and that's a good thing. And I pray that you are one of the elect. Because if you're an prophet, you're elect. If you're an elect, it doesn't mean that you're a prophet. You're just one of the elect. Like a woman or a child. They're not prophets, they're just elect. So if you're a prophet, then you're also an elect.
Let me just get it so since the Spirit is rolling that way. Colossians chapter 1 and verse 26. Even the mystery which had been hid from ages and from generations, but now is made manifest to who? To his saints. Who are the saints? The Israelites. And the main saints that this is talking about are the prophets. Which could be either apostles, they could be teachers, preachers, pastors, evangelists, in whatever shape, form, and fashion the Lord set them up to do or to be. So it says, even the mystery which has been hid from ages. So this mystery has been hid from ages. Now, let's get Daniel 12 real quick, and we'll come right back. Daniel 12 and 4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. So there would be a period of time where this truth would be concealed, but there would be also a period of time where the truth will be revealed, because we understand that part of part of what we're experiencing was we had to go through a great time of deception, which began with the Renaissance period. But the Renaissance period pretty much deceived the world into thinking that Esau, the so-called white man, is the Most High Yahushua, the angels, the Israelites. But the whole deception of the gospel being hidden also goes back to Jake. Because Jake, during the time of the Byzantine Empire, the Holy Roman Empire, they inserted a lot of fables into the teachings of the scriptures. So we're battling Esau's deception of, portrayal of being the Most High Yahushua, so on and so forth, but we're also dealing with, and also his, doctrinal, deceptions, but also Jake's doctrinal deceptions. And this is why to this very day, who are the main people that come up against this truth? Jake and Esau. And we battle.
True that, Jake and Esau, mainly Jake, but Esau too. But I understand Esau. I have no problem with Esau coming up because they're looking for a way in. So you got to tell them if you're one of them, you could look like an Edomite but be a Jake. So if you maybe you might want to do a DNA test or something like that. Might go back to the Scots, Irish, whatever, Southern Italy, Palermo or Sardinia or Sicily, or even Napolitan, these places, Calabrese, like she's this female that does my dental hygiene cleaning every four fucking months. She's a Calabrese, dark skin, and talks a lot of shit. And I told her that about the Moors. She was telling me something I don't know. I know, of course, we're products of the Moors. So she knows her stuff. She'd probably be one of my wives. Because I'd be flirting with her. Anyway, I just threw that in there.
Battling both sides. That's what the Apostle Paul spoke about us breaking down strongholds. Now in the NLT it says, but you, Daniel, keep this prophecy a secret. Seal up the book until the time of the end. So what would happen in the time of the end? In the time of the end, the truth would be made manifest. It would be revealed. Where many will rush here and there, and knowledge will increase. The knowledge will increase dealing with this knowledge, the truth, but also technology-wise. Because the more advanced technology gets, the more prophecy is fulfilled. because the whole technology surge and rise is pretty much what gave life to, you know, the MOTB system, which the MOTB is the microseer. You know, it's an acronym. You know, you could go to the book of Revelation 13, 16 down, and you can figure it out. MOTB, you know, which is the actual microseer. That's the ultimate goal of Esau, is to have everyone microseer. That's why you have individuals that are spokesmen for the global financial future that are talking about people being surveilled underneath their skin, you know, cutting down on carbon, you know, footprints and this, that, and the other, making everything digital, because that is the direction the world is going. All right, so the truth would be kept a secret to the time of the end. So now when we go back to Colossians 1 and 26, even the mystery which had been hid from ages and from generations, but now is made manifest to the saints, to whom the Most High will make known what is the riches of the glory of this mystery among the Gentiles, because you had Israelites that were among these nations that were scattered there that had to hear this, because you had a certain number of them that were also a part of the elect, which will be known as the uncircumcision, which is Yahushua in you, the hope of glory, right? Because we needed hope, because we could not get to the Father by keeping the law perfect. It was impossible. So we were done. So our only hope lies within the sacrifice of Yahushua. And Yahushua died on the cross to reveal the mysteries. You can read Revelation, the 5th chapter. He opened the mysteries and the seals. He broke the 7 seals of the book, which 7 represents completion. Seal means it was completely sealed. So every mystery, everything was completely sealed. But when he died on the cross, he opened those mysteries. He broke all of those seals so that we can get it today. So if you heard the secret, then you're...
So beautiful, 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 because that list that I went into, I didn't read that scripture in Revelation 5. I read it, I believe, last week. Or I believe when we were in Jersey to see the brother elder, the Arya Khayal, and I went through that list. That's when I put that list together that morning. So I covered that. That's one of the first precepts that I covered, and that's the beautiful precept to start with. Revelation chapter 5, where it speaks about the seals, the 7 seals, and that John cried because no one was able to open the seals except the line of Judah, which is Yahushua. That's why we here. That's why when you go to Google, when you go to AI mode in Google, when you go to chat and you put in Hebrew Israelites, BHI, Black Hebrew Israelites, whatever, they'll go into detail as to the top Hebrew Israelite groups out there, and they're 3, and they all come out of One West, ISUBK, IUIC, and GMS. That's how they mention it. GMS, ISUBK, IUIC. Then they'll say, like GMS, they'll say GMS is one of the prominent Hebrew Israelite groups. So and when you ask them a question, they give you the answer. Most of it, 95% of the time, they give you the right answer. So if you got a lot of questions for GMS, just go to Google or go to the chat. Put in GMS. Then go into IUIC. What does IUIC take on this? What's ISUBK's take on that? Like if you put in Captain Tazariak, they'll give you all kind of information on Captain Tazariak. If you put in Apostle, who are the leaders of GMS, they'll put Tahar, Bar, whatever, right? You know, you put in Elder Yashawamba out of Dallas, you would probably get some information on it. I'm pretty sure you would. See, this is big, man. As my man said, Hyman Roth, it's bigger than U.S. Steel. And yes, this is bigger than U.S. Steel. That's a topic right there. Let me stop. So let's go. That is a beautiful. That's one of my favorite scriptures anyway. The Revelation 5. The first couple of verses. Matter of fact, the whole chapter. Because John cried. He said the seals can't be broken.
We're a prophet. Yahweh Shai said what? Let's go real quick to Revelation 3. And what is that? 19? I could start at 19. As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. Be zealous, therefore, and repent. Yeah, because this is the rite of passage. That's why it says, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth and rebuketh often. Why? Because we are hard-headed people. So the Lord want to make sure we stay on the right track. Because Jake forgets, Elder Yashwamba spirit has been on him heavy to go into that point about Jake forgetting. That's where there's a constant reminder. That's why it seems like the lessons that are done, every brothers that are doing lessons pretty much seem to be speaking about the same things over and over again, because Jake forgets. When you go back into the law, the first 5 books, which were given to Moses, right? The words in there are repetitive. Because I remember back in the days when I first started reading the law, I said, why the Most High keep repeating about bringing us out of Egypt, bringing us out of Egypt, this out of Egypt, and out of iron furnace, and bringing us out of Egypt. And then a couple of chapters later, we brought them out of Egypt. And I'm like, why did the Lord keep repeating that? But it's because Jake is hard-headed. And the elder Apostle Gabar years ago spoke about the reason why the Lord wrote the commandments on tables of stone, because that represented our hearts. And I was like, wow, that's heavy, because we have stony hearts to this day. And Jake is rock-headed. All right? You want to talk about some hard-headed, rock-headed people. Rock-headed ass people, head ass. That's Jake. But here's the point. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and sup with him, and he with me. So the supping part is the revealing of the mysteries. Elder Apostle Gabar goes into this all the time. The word sup, which means that it's the evening supper, which is the most important, one of the most important suppers when you get together with the family. So the word there is daikneo, to sup, to dine. An example, take the principal or evening meal. So that was like the main meal, right? Now when we go down to the Thayer's Greek lexicon, we come down here, it says, I will make him to share in my most intimate and blissful intercourse. Now when the most intimate, blissful intercourse between a man and a woman is the act of sex. In this case, it's a mental, spiritual intercourse. Because if you look up the word intercourse, it's going to speak about sex. But intercourse.
And you do have mental and spiritual intercourse with the scriptures. The woman that you laying with is wisdom. That's why the spirit of wisdom is a feminine spirit.
Course is sharing your most deepest mysteries and secrets. That's why the Lord told the disciples, I believe that was...
Hey, I just thought of it. Samson, right? He told his intimate secret. He wouldn't tell it to the Philistine. He told it to the woman, because the woman, got how women get down. She was stroking his hair and shit, rubbing him, feeding him grapes. And she got it out of him, man. I'm gonna give you my the counsel, my intimate secret. This is the secret, right? And that's how he got, captured. So when you with a woman, man, and that's also in Micah, when you with a woman in the bed, you have a thing called pillow talk. You dealing with the woman, you had relations with the woman, and then you say that's your woman. That's your woman. You into that, and then you hugged up. Her head is supposed to be on your shoulders, on your chest, and then you're all talking sweet nothings into your ear. So that's the Most High. Well, through wisdom is telling us stuff. this woman that you love so much, she's telling you this, she's whispered that, and she's telling you this, and it's getting you more turned on, but you're getting turned on in the spirit, not, not in the loins, I want. What does he say in Eddie Murphy? I want her to arouse my intellect as well as my loins. Well, wisdom is gonna arouse your intellect. Your intellect. So you guys are faking it like what is it, TGC? They were faking it. As soon as they went off, what did we do? We jumped. What did the Watchmen do? We jumped on their ass saying these niggas sold the fuck out. We were the first people that said, I was one of the first ones, these dudes sold the fuck out. I don't know the track record of, Captain Zarek got on them too. I don't know if he said that they sold out, but we were the ones that said, for the record, we were the ones that said, based upon the fact that Gentiles could make it, Canadians is not an Israelite, and Timothy's not an Israelite, the Gentiles. When they said that, we said, wait a minute, them guys fucking sold out. Then people started saying, you guys sold out, and they got mad. Look at what happened. The Most High said, you gonna play games? Okay, boom. We'll put the spirit on your ex-wife or your wife, former wife, and she gonna spill the tea on your ass.
St. John 15. Let me just do it this way. Right, beautiful. St. John 15:14. You are my friends if you do whatsoever I command you. Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth, but I have called you friends. For all things that I have heard of my Father I have made known unto you.
So the Most High is not a friend to Johanna and what's his name, Nathaniel. Because if the Lord was his friend, they would come. The Lord would come in a dream and say, "The mark of the beast is the microchip." Because do they believe in dreams and visions? Huh? If you can't see it, and we're 100% plus, you can say about the thing. What if you say, well, what if you guys are wrong? My response is, we're not wrong. So you guys are not prophets. Because the Most High is not giving you his intimate secrets. And we're giving you the secret. We said the Most High gave us the secret and we're passing it on to you. Since the Most High didn't give you a vision. But what are you saying? Nah, they ain't talking about that. It's sleeping with white women. It's going to make you look bad when that day comes. What you going to say when it happens?
See? You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you. This is one that Sarnetta could have used to cut. Tazaryak, Captain Tazaryak. Ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain. That whatsoever you shall ask of the Father in my name, he will give it you. So pretty much, the Lord said he doesn't call the disciples servants anymore, for a servant knows not the mysteries or the secrets of the master, but he called them friends because he brought them into the inner circle, to the inner sanctum, which is that supping, the diapneo. I will make him to share in my most intimate and blissful intercourse, because the world is not privy to the mysteries that are going on. And I had these scriptures in a particular order, but the Spirit wanted to come out this way. We roll in the Spirit. Romans 11:7. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. Why? Because the election have been predestinated. That's, Hebrew Israelite 101. I don't understand what's wrong with Captain Desire. But that's what happens when you turn a blind eye to madness that your leaders are teaching. John the Baptist fell out the truth. Moses fell out the truth. And I could be wrong, but I believe that at first he probably wasn't with that. I could be wrong, He might have always wholeheartedly been with it, but I perceive that he may not have been with that. But eventually, he grew comfortable with the lie. You know.
Cursed be the man, Jeremiah. The mark of the beast. Perfect, opportune time to bring this out again. Once again, the elder Yashawamba. He made a statement. He did a video I was watching, and I did a little response to it, and took a snippet from the video. He made a statement that when Captain Zarek was dying, he was coming up, he was following them guys on the chat, that he believed that the mark of the beast, when they told him about the mark of the beast, he believed it, but then, when he went with the ISUPK, he no longer believed it. So I'm waiting for him to come out and say, any other witnesses outside of Elder Yashawamba making a statement, any other witnesses? Because Elder Yashawamba is not the type of guy, he's not there's no lying in him. He shoots it straight. He's not, he been in New York many a time. He's been in my house more than once. He ain't the type of dude that lies. He ain't just gonna make shit up.
And seeing that he looks at those men as the vicar of the Most High, like the Pope, he dare not question.
Yeah, because them guys are not the leaders. I'm not being emotional about it. Them guys ain't the leaders. Based upon making statements like John the Baptist fell out the truth, Moses fell out the truth, the mark of the beast is sleeping with white women. The beast didn't even come about until it was spoken about in a vision by Daniel. The beast came about in the Roman Empire. So that Solomon was not living in the Roman Empire. So how can he take the mark of the beast? So he was just winging it, and you should have saw that. You Captain Zaryak, and you Captain Katazai, and some of you others, because some of y'all, I believe, could be of the elect. I hope y'all are. But you're going to find out, man. Look, Google, chat, AI, they know that we the true men of the Most High. They say we known for what? Going into the prophecy, heavy into the prophecies.
But go into the scriptures and try to justify that. The election have obtained it, meaning obtained the mysteries. And the rest were what? Blinded. Let's look up this word blinded. See what it says for blinded. The word there's porao, to cover with a thick skin, see, to harden by covering with a callus. So their minds have been, their foolish heart was darkened. Metaphorically, to make the heart dull. When something is dull, it somewhat kind of functions, but it struggles. It's not fully clear. Dull primarily describes something that is lacking in excitement, sharpness, brightness, or intensity. So their lights are kind of.
So these guys are spiritual dullards.
Flickering a little bit, but they keep going out, like the foolish virgins. And Lord's will, we're gonna get that, because that's on the list. But I had it for later, but we're gonna go into it now.
Okay, so you put a list together too. That's good. Well, I'm gonna read that list, my list periodically, man. That's a beautiful thing. You got to notice. You got guys in other camps, pop-up camps we call them. How did they start? Why did they start teaching? Because they came across GMS video, they came across ISUPK videos, they came across IUIC videos. Some of them said, let me inquire how to get in contact with GMS or IUIC or ISUPK, whatever. And some of them just watch the videos and they'll take a little out of one and another out of the three major camps, and they'll kind of put their own thing together. Oh, we don't deal with the great thing, but we do accept the mark of the beast or whatever. So these guys are just mockingbirds. You got to be you can't fake it, man. You can't fake it. You got to be. I've been in this thing over 40 years, so I ain't going nowhere. I can't go nowhere. It's impossible because people, you tall, where you been? I can't go nowhere. Like Peter, remember Peter? The woman said, he was one of them, and Peter tried to deny it. I can't deny it. I can't deny this thing.
Matthew 25:1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps. You know, the 10 virgins are vessels of men, not necessarily 10 exactly. This is just for the sake of the parable. The lamps represent each individual spirit. And went forth to meet the bridegroom. The bridegroom is Yahushua. And 5 of them were wise, right? And 5 of them were foolish. Now you look up the word wise, and 5 just represents power. Wise is phronimos. Intelligent, wise. So someone that's intelligent, as you've heard Elder Apostle Tahara say, is someone that was told in. Intelligence is to tell in. So you have a source that's given.
Right, Esau calls it intel. In the military, they call it intel, meaning I told somebody, so now they know. That's intel or intelligence.
When you intel or making you privy to what's going on that everyone else doesn't know about. That's the intel. Wise, prudent.
Intimate secrets. The Most High gives his intimate secrets to his servants, the prophets. If you're not a prophet and you look like a prophet, well, the scriptures speak about wearing a rough garment to deceive, right?
An example, mindful of one's own, mindful of one's interests. Going back, 5 were wise and 5 were foolish. When you look up the word foolish, you have the word moral.
And remember, these prophets come out of all walks of life. You have Amos. He was a farmer. Let's say farmer. He was gathering what do you call that? Sycamores. And the case with Peter and his brother Peter and Andrew, they were fishers. Matthew was a publican. What was I going to say? Elisha was a husbandman. When he was called, he had 12 yoke of oxen in front of him. A yoke is 2 ox, so he was controlling 24 oxen. So that dude was a strong dude, strong-spirited, rough dude, out in the field, type of brother.
Moros, which is where you get the word moron or sophomore, right? Foolish, impious, godless. So these individuals are they're foolish because they're godless. They're impious, meaning they're not faithful. They're without piety, right? But the heavy thing about this is the root word that it goes back to is the word mysterion, which is the word mystery. So why are they foolish? Why are they,
And mysterion, when you look the word up, the word moose or moot, the word moot means to shut up, don't speak. Moses said, I'm going to give you these secrets. Don't tell nobody. But then he goes, you know what? Tell everybody. Tell them all my secrets. But this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it where their eyes are heavy, Isaiah 6:9, where they can't see, they can't hear, they can't perceive, they can't understand. So we're telling people for years, non-stop, pretty much. There's countless videos on the MOTB, and these people are bucking up again. That's a secret. But these guys can't see it because the Most High said, go ahead and tell the secret. All the secrets that I gave you, my intimate secrets, tell it to everybody. But guess what? I'm going to stop their ears where they can't get it.
Lacking wisdom because they're not privy to the mysteries. Mysterion. Hidden things, secret, mystery. So that's why they're the foolish. Because they don't understand the mystery. Generally mysteries, religious secrets, confided only to the initiated and not to the ordinary mortals. So you have Israelites out there, but not every Israelite out there is a part of the elect. Because the mysteries are only revealed to the elect. But specifically, the mysteries are revealed to the servants, the prophets. Let's go to Amos chapter 3 and 7. Surely the Lord's power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. So before anything goes down in society, the Lord reveals his mysteries to his prophets, the secrets to his prophets. And they would go out and speak these things, and eventually they would come to pass. Because one thing with the Lord is he's going to tell you what's going to happen before it happens. Isaiah 42:9 says, behold, the former things that come to pass, meaning former prophecies, because there are prophecies that were spoken by the prophets from the beginning of the world, since the world began, and they came to pass. The flood, the captivity of Egypt, the leaving of Egypt, you know, the breaking up of the 12 tribes, the Syrian captivity, the Babylonian captivity, the Medo-Persian captivity, so on and so forth. And new things do I declare. You know, the Renaissance period, you know, Rome, you know, the nuclear destruction, the chariots, the deliverance. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. So the Lord gives it to his prophets. Amos 3:7, surely the Lord's power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. Let's go to the word revealeth. To reveal something, the word reveal is a compound word. Re is back, veil is where you get the word veil. So to peel back the veil. The book of Revelation, to peel back the veil. Another word for it in the Latin and in Spanish is apocalypse or apocalypsis, which means to pull back the veil. Apo is to send away, and calypso or calypse is the veil. So the word there is galah. It says to uncover, remove. So there's something secret to it's secret to everybody in the room. But then you have the group of people on the right hand who the person that kept the secret pulls the veil up and only allows them to see it. But the rest of the room is still in darkness, although you have a certain amount of the people in there that actually see the mystery. Because the person that made it a mystery pulled the veil back, uncovered it, and let them see it, but didn't let the whole room see it. So if you see the mystery, then that means that you're a prophet. And I'm talking about the men. You know? The women that see the mysteries, you know, that really see the mysteries and that really get it, you know, then you are one of the elect ladies. All right? So read that again. Surely the Lord power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants the prophets. Matter of fact, let's look at the word secret. The word there is sawad. Counsel.
You see how this man here is cooking? He's going into certain precepts and he's stretching them out. He's taking one. You can take a precept and stretch it out, you know, a scripture, a verse, and you see how he's going into the words. This is what Bishop Nate got to do. Instead of going into the history of Heliodorus and Antiochus IV and Antiochus III and all this nonsense. It's not nonsense. It's history. You're putting the people to sleep, but that's okay. You learn from that. Main thing you got to do is keep hitting them prophecies. Keep hitting them.
Council, assembly. So it's a secret. But not everyone is privy to it. Only the initiated ones. Council of familiar conversation. See? And that's what the word inspire means, to breathe into. And that's how the individuals are made privy to this knowledge. Matter of fact, I had this for later. Where is it? Just bear with me right here. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7. This has been coming out a lot too. And 26. It says, matter of fact, I started 25. For she is the breath of the power of the Most High.
Boom! I did a video not too long ago on the breath. And that's a famous scripture. And that goes into wisdom. That goes into wisdom. The female. This is a beautiful woman that you love, and she's giving you all these secrets. Beautiful, which is the breath.
With wisdom and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. And this truth, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, these mysteries are a gift. Faith is a gift. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her.
Therefore no defiled thing can fall, no lies can fall into her. And what is the scripture? Damn, I got to put in my mind. A malicious soul. I'm merely paraphrasing. I'm not going to get it. It's also in the Apocrypha. This truth or whatever will not enter into a malicious soul. Now you go back to TGC because they're recent example. I'm just using them as an example. They try to they come their own way, and they look pretty good doing it too. You know, if you not order the elect, it will deceive you. But what happened? The Most High got rid of them. All that stuff that they did, all that beautiful, computer work and so forth, and it all went down. It was like they were never here. So the wisdom will not enter into a malicious soul. I'm merely paraphrasing. I'm not going to look for it.
For she is the brightness of the everlasting light.
She, which is wisdom. So this is you're having spiritual sex with wisdom, not physical sex, but mental sex, spiritual sex. There's a video. There's a YouTube page with an Edomite looking dude, but he got to be a Jake. It's called sexual kung fu.
The unspotted mirror of the power of the Most High, and the image of His goodness. And being but one, she can do all things. And remaining in herself, she maketh all things new. And in all ages, entering into holy souls, she maketh them
entering into holy souls. Wisdom cannot and will not enter into a malicious soul, a spirit. Also, this is a stone of trial. What is that? Wisdom of Solomon, no, Ecclesiasticus. I believe that's 6 verse. I believe it's 21. I'm not going to go to it. Somebody can put it in the chat.
Friends of the Most High and what? And prophets. So if you could see the mystery, then you're a prophet. If you heard the secret, then you're a prophet. For the Most High loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. For she is more beautiful than the sun, and above all the order of the stars, being compared with the light, she is found before it. For after this cometh night, but vice shall not prevail against wisdom. Right, because the night came.
The night, what does it say? Night come where no man can work. That's when the destruction comes. So you can't say, we in the ships, I'm ready to do the work now. You go out to camp in the kingdom. Ain't gonna be no camps in the kingdom. We're gonna enjoy ourselves.
And although the light is shining, we're still in the night. For most people, they're still in the night.
At midnight, there was a cry made. Matthew 25. We're in the midnight. We're in Esau's midnight. And our dawning. Esau's midnight is our not dawning. What's the opposite of dawning? The dawn of the day. Yeah, this Esau's midnight is our dawning, is our morning.
But the prophets, the teachers, the evangelists, the apostles, they're not the elders. They're not in the darkness. They're not in that night. But you have some individuals out there even that know that they're Israelites. They're still in the night. Part of their mind is still in the night because it hasn't fully been open.
Because maybe they're not prophets, but maybe they're the elect. Maybe they're not prophets or the elect. So Read Matthew 13.
The light hasn't fully shined unto them. Salakit.
But there's no excuse because you have the true men of the Lord. So if you say, well, I ain't going to listen to GMS because they about rapists. Okay, then you're going to go with IUCPK or some other group. And guess what? You're going to get caught out there. Like I said, these individuals, the leader of the IUCPK, IUIC, if they change, if they come to their senses spiritually, they may be of the elect.
So it says divine circle of familiar friends, assembly, company, council, secret council. So surely the Lord power will do nothing but he revealed his secrets or his secret counsel unto his servants, the prophets. The lion has a Lord who will not fear. The Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai power have spoken. Who can but prophesy?
TGC, where they at? They've been AWOL for going on 3 weeks. So their sheep are dying. Their sheep are dying. Look up a baby sheep. How much food does it need? How often does a baby sheep need to be fed? An adult sheep don't need to be fed as much. They can take it, but a baby sheep, so all their babies are dead. That's the topic right there. All the TGC babies are dead. You'll be like, what is this all about?
So this is why you see a lot of prophecy going out. All right, so the word mysterion is the word mystery, which is a root word for the word foolish or morals. Because you have morals, moron, for foolish. You have sophos for wisdom. And you have, I believe it was phronismo, which was wise. All right? Oh, snap. Look at this. Blockhead. Head ass. Morally blockhead. Heedless.
Hey, well, wait a minute. When I used to call it TGC, and I was the one that said it, I used to call them the blockheads. I said, here come the blockheads. I said I used to call them the blockheads from Gumby.
Dull or stupid, as we read here. Dull primarily describes something that is lacking in excitement, sharpness, brightness, or intent.
Them guys are spiritual dullets. Because if they weren't spiritual dullets, they'd be still in the truth. They wouldn't have took that bag.
Intensity. Depending on the context, it can refer to a boring experience, which we're not dealing with that. A blunt blade, we're not dealing with that. A muted color, which is faded. A muted sound, faded, or sluggish physical and mental state. This is the one we're really focusing on. A sluggish physical and mental state. So in other words, it's working, but then it's not fully working. See, sluggish, mentally slow, or lacking vigor. And that's why some of these other camps are faltering, because their lights are not fully on. Because they fall under the category of the foolish virgins. So let's read this again. It says, and 5 of them were wise and 5 of them were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil. See? So they didn't take the oil with them. Proverbs 21, for those of you that may not know. And 16 is good, but there's another one. 20. Matter of fact, I read 16 and I'll jump to 20. The man that wandered out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead, or in the congregation of the foolish, mentally dead. So you have some of these guys that are somewhat awoke, but they're still dull. Just think of it like when you first wake up, or you wake up, or somebody turns the light on in the middle of the night, or and then you still kind of groggy. Like you kind of somewhat got your bearings, but not fully. So that's how some of these individuals are. Verse 20, there is treasure to be desired and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man spendeth it up. So this is the contrast between the wise and the foolish. Now let's look up these two words here. Wise, we had the word kakam, which is the masculine way of saying wisdom. There was an individual in the school at One West that was named kakam. But the root word to it goes all the way back to the word chachama. with a ha at the end, which makes it feminine, but not in all cases. So Hakamah is wisdom because wisdom is compared to a woman. Hakam is masculine, the masculine way of saying it. Wise man, skillful in technical work. Wise in administration, shrewd, crafty, cunning, wily, subtle, learned. Shrewd, class of men, prudent, wise ethically and religiously. And then you have, there's oil in the dwelling of the wise, but the foolish man spendeth it up. The word for foolish is kasayal, which ka is as or like, and sayal is foolish. Fool, stupid fellow, dullard, simpleton, arrogant one. You see Elder Apostle Gabar always use that term, dullard. You have the word dull, which is, as we read here, sluggish physical and mental states, mentally slow or lacking in vigor, and then you have the word dullard, which is akin to the same. A dullard is an old-fashioned, somewhat derogatory term for a slow-witted, unintelligent, or boring person. So pretty much it's synonymous with the word dull. Okay? So let's read this one more time. Proverbs 21:20. There is treasure to be desired and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but the foolish man spendeth it up. And that's why they're known as the foolish, they're known as the foolish, because this means to make the heart dull. And I forgot what word we looked up. Oh, blinded. And that's why they're blinded, because they're dull. The scriptures speak about being dull of hearing. Matthew 13:15. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing. See? And their eyes that they have closed. He said anytime they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears and should understand with their heart and should be converted, and I should heal them, right? Because the word convert means to return. It's akin to the word reconciliation or reconcile. So in both the word convert and the word reconcile, it means the same thing. You need to go back, to turn back. To be reconciled, or to go back to a former state. The nations never had a state or a relationship with the Most High, outside of them just being created by the Lord to be our servants. Matter of fact, let's go to that Matthew 13:15. I just want to look up that word dull. Barrios goes back to the word baros. Heavily, with difficulty, see? Dull. So their perception, their lights are not fully on. They're still seeing opaquely. You know, that smoke glass hasn't fully cleared up on it. But when does it fully clear up? Let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 3. And that shows that these individuals that are out there that call themselves Israelites, the Yahushua hasn't fully been formed in them. For them still not to be able to get, major prophecy like the MOTB, which is the microseer. 2 Corinthians 3. Matter of fact, I started at 12, the point is a little further down. Seeing then that we have such hope, we use great plainness of speech because we breaking it down to the least common denominator. But you still have people out there that can't get it. So if you heard the secret, then you're a prophet. Talking to you men out there. And not as Moses, which put a veil over his face, that the children of Israel could not steadfastly look to the end of that which is abolished. Which is what? The glory of the law. The glory of the prophets. because the people were glorying in that, but the main glory was transferred from the law and the prophets to Yahushua. But he did not do away with the law. This is where them Christians are at. But their minds were blinded, for until this day remaineth the same veil untaken away in the reading of the Old Testament, even to this very day. Which veil is done away in what? In Yahushua. So that means that these guys' minds, spirits are not fully opened because the Yahushua hasn't been fully formed in them yet. It says, but even unto this day when Moses read, the veil is upon their heart. Nevertheless, when it shall turn to the Lord, the veil shall be taken away. See? Now the Lord is that spirit, and where the spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. And that's the opening. But we all with open face beholding as in a glass the glory of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua are changed into the same image from glory to glory, even as by the spirit of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. So much so that these individuals get mad and accusing us, slandering us, calling us rapists, because they're being called out on their foolishness, on their bullshit. But that's okay. They hate him, they rebuke it at the gate. All right, so where are we at now? Okay, so we got that. To cover with thick skin, to harden by covering with a callus, make the heart dull, which is the mind. So that was the word for blindness. So let's read this again. Romans 11:7. What then? Israel hath obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. According as it is written, the Most High hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day. So no matter how hard they try, they're not going to be able to get it. Ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. So going back here, and you can read there's a lot in Romans 11. This whole chapter is dynamic. Romans 16:25. Now to him that is of power to establish you according to my gospel and the preaching of Yahushua Mashiach, according to the revelation of the mystery, which was kept secret since the world began. But now is made manifest, and by the scriptures of the prophets, according to the commandment of the everlasting power, made known to all nations, because they had Israelites scattered, for the obedience of faith. So this has been kept secret from the beginning. Matter of fact, let's get that scripture again in Colossians. I don't know if I still had it here.
If this is kept secret until now, Daniel 12, Daniel 12:4. How in the hell did John Calvin get these scriptures? He didn't. None of them guys get it. The so-called the church fathers, they didn't have the scriptures. The Nicene Council, they didn't have the mysteries of the scriptures, man. None of them had it. John didn't have it. John didn't know what the hell he was writing. He didn't know what was going on. When he saw the chip, he didn't know what that was about. So none of them knew it. We know it now. The Most High was appointed the prophets to get those visions, to write them down, for us to understand. We understand them.
Colossians 1:26. Even the mystery which hath been hid from ages and from generations, but now is made manifest to his saints. So have you heard?
The now is not talking about 2,000 years ago, because Paul didn't get the full understanding. He got a lot of not a deep information. Paul did not have the information that we got now. We know all the prophets, man. We all know, we understand all the prophecies, I would say. Paul didn't know what was going on. There were certain things he kind of understood. Same thing with John.
Heard the secret, then you're a prophet.
John on the Isle of Patmos didn't know when it was told to him that you're going to prophesy before many nations, kings, tongues, and so forth. He didn't understand what that meant. When did that come to pass? In our time.
Prophet. And the word mystery goes back to the same word we just read for foolish. Mysterion. Hidden thing. So why are they foolish? Because the truth is hidden from them. So like I just something had caught my eye. I'm just I saw something in this for some reason. Now I can't find it. But it's all good. All right, so let's go from there. Let's see what else we got. Oh, matter of fact, let's go back to the word secret. So the word secret, pretty much S-E-C is apart or away. And cernere is to separate. To separate apart or to separate away. So that's, you know, when the Lord opens up your mind, He includes you or closes you into the mystery. But when He excludes you, He closes you out of the mystery. So it says, that which is hidden from human understanding, I'm just going to jump around, that which is hidden from general knowledge. Right? You have secrecy, mystery, hidden, concealed, private, withdrawn, set apart, right? From secretus, set apart. Says cernere, to set apart, part, divide, exclude, from se, without, apart, properly on one's own, plus cernere, to separate.
See, he's cooking right now, and I'm doing things. I'm like the elder, Calab. I had to change my car. Now I'm cooking. I'm right now. I'm cutting up, slicing up some. I took 2 thumbs of ginger. Look up a thumb of ginger, and I slice it up, raw ginger, and I'm eating it, and that shit burns going down. But I'm used to it. But I'm doing little things here and there. I'm not cooking. But I'm cooking, but I'm not cooking, so you can understand.
Right. Now we have the word mystery. The word mystery pretty much goes to the word ma'ayin, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, to close, to shut, or to make mute.
There you go. Didn't I say that? Mysterion mute means to shut up.
All right, so mystery in the theological sense, religious truth via divine revelation. And that's it. That's why it says, surely the Lord power will do nothing, but He revealeth the secrets unto His servants and prophets. Matter of fact, building off of that, let me hit a couple of these precepts here. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 3. These are some of the precepts I was following along in the blue letter. Bad precepts too. Ephesians 3 and 5, which in other ages, matter of fact I started 4, whereby when you read, you may understand my knowledge in the mystery of Yahushua, which in other ages was not made known unto the sons of men, as it is now revealed unto His holy apostles.
Didn't I say that? Let me bring that back.
My knowledge in the mystery of Yahushua, which in other ages was not made known unto the sons of men.
That's what I said. If you go back to the church fathers, you go back to the Nicene Council, if you go back to John Calvin, if you go back to Martin Luther, if you go back to Peter, Paul, if you go back to the apostles, that's a topic right there. The apostles of Yahushua did not know what we know now. We know it all. We know the whole book. They didn't have the whole book wasn't put together. It was a series of epistles and books. The book of Revelation was given to the 7 churches of Asia, copies to the 7 churches of Asia Minor. The 7 churches of Asia Minor was long dead. So now it had to come back to us. This is beautiful, man. We are the ones with the 100% truth. Most houses said He's going to send us, and we're here. We're here like the kings of comedy.
as it is now revealed unto his holy apostles and prophets by what? By the Spirit.
So we must be prophets. All you men out there, if you're elders, guess what? You're still prophets. If you're out there prophesying, he's an elder, but he's a prophet, right? He's an apostle, but he's also a prophet. Most sides just dealing with the prophet. He ain't dealing with generals and kings and this and that. He's dealing with prophets. The bishops of Connecticut, right? They're prophets.
See? And the Spirit searcheth all things, yes, even the deep things of the Most High. So let's go from there to James, first chapter, 17th verse. It says, every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, and cometh down from the Father of lights, with whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. So this is a gift. Daniel chapter 2. And verse 28, straight to the point. But there is a matter of fact, I started 27. Daniel answered in the presence of the king, meaning King Nebuchadnezzar, and said, the secret which the king have demanded, cannot the wise men, the astrologers, the magicians, the soothsayers show unto the king. Why? Because that secret was with Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. But there is a power in heaven that what revealeth secrets. And why was Daniel able to interpret these dreams and know these secrets? Because Daniel is a prophet, and maketh known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter
And he's here, most likely here with us today, unless he's in the spirit world.
days. Thy dream and thy visions that thy head upon thy bed are these. So the main point is, but there is a power in heaven that revealeth secrets. And it says, surely the Lord power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. So if you heard the secret, then you're a prophet. If you understand the secret, then you're a prophet. If you keep the secret, then you're a prophet. If you teach the secret, then you're a prophet.
You're a prophet.
So
if you keep the secret, you're not a prophet. If you can't keep the secret, you got to tell the secret. We went through that the other day, past Saturday. Luke 19, burying the talent.
So let's go from there to, now we're going back to James, chapter 1, verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High to give it to all men liberally, all men of Israel, and upbraid
all men, meaning everybody. Edomites. That's what vocab. It said all men, all Israelite men. And not just Israelite men that are of the elect.
it is not, and it shall be
So your father may not get it, but you might get it, the son.
given him. Right? So let's go from there to jump to the wrong one, but that's okay. Psalms 25, because this I was reading the other night, and I wrote something down, which when I read this precept, it brought that back to memory. So it's Psalms 25 and 14, because we I think it was Saturday, we had did a lesson, and pretty much, you know, one of the main topics was that Jake doesn't fear the Most High. And that's one thing that Elder Apostle Gabar always stressed a lot, that these people in the church will hear him say, I love the Lord, so on and so forth, but they will never hear them say, I fear the Lord. Because Jake does not fear the Lord. So Psalms 25:14, it says, the secret of the Lord is with them that fear him, and he will show them his covenant. See? Now, in contrast, when we go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, and verse 19, it says, thine own wickedness shall correct thee, and thy backsliding shall reprove thee. Know therefore and see that it is an evil thing and bitter that thou hast forsaken the Lord thy power, and that my fear is not in thee, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahshai of hosts. And that's why these Jake out here, they don't have the mysteries because they don't fear the Lord. Some of these, you know, prominent top men of renown in these different Israelite camps don't have the mystery because they don't fear the Lord. Because if you feared the Lord, you would not fix your mouth to say you could have sex on the side. That's a goddamn shame, man. The two of the top prominent camps out there, IUIC and the ISUPK, both teach that bullshit. And you can,
as it stands, they're not of the elect and they're not prophets unless otherwise they wake up. Because if they teach that shit when the missiles come, they're gonna eat missiles. They're gonna eat a warhead. Gonna look foolish. They're gonna look foolish when they make the microchip mandatory. They're gonna look foolish.
you can have sex on the Sabbath. Then the ISUPK talks about John the Baptist fell out the truth, Moses fell out the truth. Who's next? So that's why it says that
the Captain Zariak and Captain Katazak, you should have stood up to that. He said, no, I ain't accepting that. Ain't no way in hell High Priest Zariak, King Marshall could tell me that Moses fell out the truth. I said, Moses fell out the what? No. You know, back at the main school, we had arguments, bro. We had arguments and councils all the time over the scriptures. And we fought over the scriptures, man. It's not like you Rudy Toot Boot Johnny come lately motherfucker. Oh, that's the high priest. I ain't gonna say, man, if Ariel went off, I said, look, I pulled him to the side, I said, Ariel, you going off on that. He'll look at it, he said, you're right, I was going off. None of them guys do that. Cursed be the man that trusted the man. That's your problem. A lot of guys don't know. You just blindly follow. We tell all the time, we speak about the church of Berea. How Paul commended them for having a ready mind and to fact check what Paul said. Everything that Paul said, they fact checked it. He compared them to Thessalonica. He said that Berea is more honorable than Thessalonica because they searched the scriptures whether these things were so. A lot of these people don't search the scriptures to see if these things were so. They just, the high priest said it means this, so that's what it means. So if they change, you're going to change with it. A lot of you motherfuckers is weak, man. But a lot of you are not of the elect. A lot of you guys just stumbled into school. You stumbled into ISUBK. You don't know what the fuck is going on. You don't know what the fuck is going on, bro. Y'all better, hey, Philippians 2:12. Let every work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You can only make it for the merit for the things that you do. You just a part of that ISUBK and IOIC and we the number one this and that. No. Anyway, sorry.
And that my fear is not in thee, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahshai. And that's why you are akin to the foolish virgins or the morals, which are the morons, because the mysteries of the truth have not been revealed to you. And that is what the oil is about. And that's why in Romans 11 and 9 it says, and David saith, let their table be made a snare and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. Because although they have the table set out, although they're teaching good things, there's still vomit on them tables. Isaiah 28 and 8. For all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. Because if you have 99% of the truth, but then you have 1% that's tainted, then it taints the whole thing. The analogy that the scriptures uses about a fly maketh the apothecary to stink. So you can have a 5-gallon tincture made, ready to go. That is the top thing that if you take a few drops of that, you'll be good. And then you open it up to scoop some out, and you see a dead fly in there. What happens? The whole thing is bad. Because no lie is of the truth. Because the lie is leaven. A little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. And Yahushua spoke about beware of the leaven of the Pharisees. To teach that you can have sex on the Sabbath, that's the leaven of the Pharisees, the wicked ones. To teach that John the Baptist fell out the truth, that's the leaven of the Pharisees, the wicked ones. To teach that Moses fell out the truth, that's the leaven of the Pharisees, the wicked ones. And so on and so forth. To teach that hell is the actual place you go and burn forever, that's the leaven of the Pharisees, the wicked ones. Because not because you are a Pharisee does that make you wicked. You had righteous Pharisees. The Apostle Paul was persecuting the church. He was a Pharisee, but he was doing it out of the sincerity of his heart. He really thought he was doing the right thing until the Lord turned him around. And he was still a Pharisee, but he was a righteous Pharisee. You had the Pharisees that believed, that were trying to make the Israelite foreigners get circumcised. So not every Pharisee was wicked. Gamaliel was a Pharisee. Nicodemus was a Pharisee. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Joseph of Arimathea was a Pharisee, if I'm not mistaken.
Paul's father was
so you had a lot of Pharisees that believed.
Paul was still a Pharisee. He had his Pharisee ID card. Paul's father was a Pharisee. He said that. Paul said, I'm a Pharisee, my father's a Pharisee. He was trained in the law. He was an expert on the law. Under Gamaliel, Gamaliel was a Pharisee. In fact, you niggas, you GMS, you bunch of Pharisees. First of all, that's an organization that was back then. And Pharisee was just a group of individuals that were into the law. There were good Pharisees and bad Pharisees. Paul wasn't a bad Pharisee.
And these stupid ass Christians, he came to his own accepted him not. All the Jews rejected him. No, they didn't.
How did all the Jews reject him when they were scattered all over the goddamn place? Had to be millions of them living in Alexandria, Egypt. What the fuck you talking about? This is why we do not like to talk to Christians. Unless you come sincere, you come correct. See, if vocab came correct, he'll be welcome to come anytime. If he came correct, but he never comes correct. That's a talk right there. Vocab never comes correct. He's always slithering.
But that's what you say, and because most people are not Berean minded, or as Elder Pastor puts it, have the Berean cap on.
I'm known for bringing up the Berea. I'm known for bringing up the Berea. Because Berea is a cut. That's another topic right there. Another bar.
They'll just go with it because they don't have the mind to research different.
Everybody in the truth, that's in GMS, let's say, everybody's supposed to know how to research stuff and go through things, and if I ever say something, I bring some scripture out that you haven't heard in years and you're not sure of, don't just say, well, Tahar said it, so it must be true. No, check it yourself. Get with other brothers, talk about it. Right? That's how you're supposed. Every member of GMS is supposed to be have a scholarly mind. You're supposed to search the scriptures. You're supposed to, before you teach something, you're supposed to make sure you got the full understanding.
Not every Israelite rejected Yahushua. His disciples were all Israelites. Well, it says Simon the Canaanite. He was a Canaanite. No, he wasn't. Simon.
Because you ain't deep. That's something IUIC would say. When you look at that word Simon the Canaanite, the word for Canaan is, I can go to it, but I'm not going to go to it. The word means jealous one. I believe it's a Greek word. It's not talking about a Canaanite. He wasn't an African. Now in that movie, Simon the Canaanite carried a cross, and you know who they got to play in the movie The Greatest Story Ever Told? They got Sidney Poitier to play Simon the Canaanite, because Simon the Canaanite was supposed to be a Canaan, which he was supposed to be African. So they got a so-called African American, which he was a West Indian. My mother grew up with lived in the same building with Sidney Poitier, by the way. So he's from Harlem. But anyway, they got him to play because they said, yeah, he was a Canaanite. Well, wait a minute. The so-called Jesus was an Israelite. So why you got a white guy playing Jesus? Huh? Why did all the 12 disciples were played by European actors? See, you can't do that now. You can't be making the movies no more. I remember years ago, they used to always make a movie about Jesus, a new movie about Jesus. Y'all ain't making the movies no more because you know what? You can't get white people to play those roles no more because we done woke up to it, man. Jake done woke up to it. You can't pull the wool over our eyes no more.
I'm in the Zelotes. They were all Israelites. Nathaniel, an Israelite indeed. Right? Didn't Yahushua say that about him? But
I believe he said a man who has found no guile. Meaning he gonna make it. Even though he don't do the work, he gonna make it, man.
Thought all the Jews rejected the Lord.
Joseph of Arimathea, he got a ticket on the ship. Yeah, you see? Nicodemus.
All tables are full of vomit. So going back to Romans 11 and 9, and David said, let their table be made a snare, which is a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense unto them. Because they get trapped up with the same, because the scriptures are a trap. The scriptures can be a way to escape the prison, or the scriptures can be a way to get yourself deeper and deeper in that prison. It's a maze. It's an enigma, a puzzle. And some are able to maneuver through that maze because of the Spirit of the Lord put upon them. But most get trapped up in that maze, like in The Shining. He got trapped up in that maze, and I believe he froze to death. Jack Nicholson. Here's Johnny. It says, let their eyes be darkened that they may not see, and bow down their neck always. Why? Because the Lord didn't want them to get this truth. So if you heard the secret, then you're a prophet. And your job is to go out there and prophesy. And the reason why a lot of Jake can't get it is because the fear of the Lord is not in them. And as we read in Psalms 20.
And ultimately that predestined to be in this thing, to be in this lot. Daniel said in Daniel 12, being back in the matter of fact, let me go ahead and get that right quick. Because I want to read it in a couple of versions here. And by the way, shout out to Vocab for telling us, you guys just go into King James. You're afraid to go to the other version. We go to the other versions now. So what you got to say now? Okay, let me see. Where am I? Daniel. I got all this ginger all in me. I sliced up some raw ginger and chewed on it. Call it ginger chew. That kills parasites. Okay, where we at? Daniel. Okay, Daniel 12. I want. Give me a second. Daniel 12. Okay, here we go. I know it's at the end. I think it's the very last verse, but Where is he? Where is he? Bear with me for a minute here. There it is, 3 times. Wait a minute. Okay, here we go. I said it was the last verse. Silly me. Okay, let me start from the 11th. Let me start from the 8th verse. And I heard, but I understood not. Then said I, O my Lord, my superior, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed till the time of the end. We're in the time of the end. That's why we're able to decipher the book of Daniel. Many shall be purified. We're purified, the ones that come in the truth, and made white, made clean, holy, kodash, and tried and tested. But the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. Esau don't understand what's going on. But the wise shall understand. We are the wise. And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, then shall be 1,290 days. I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but it's talking about 70 AD, that period. Blessed is he that waiteth and cometh to the 1,305 and 30 day, meaning some of them escaped. They didn't get put to death. It said, but go thou thy way till the end be. And that ultimately that's talking about this end, the end that we're in. For thou shalt rest, sleep, and stand in thy lot at the end of the days. So Daniel is most likely here among us. One of you brothers is Daniel. You know, some of the brothers went into the spiritual realm, but it said he's going to be there at the end. So he's most likely among us. He could be a brother from one of the states or whatever. All right? Let me do this. Let me go to Amplified. Sorry about that. Right, it says here, from the time that the regular sacrifice, that is the daily burnt offerings, is taken away, that's 70 AD, and the abomination of desolation, that's Titus entering in with the Roman troops, is set up, ruining the temple for worship of the true power. There will be 1,290 days. I'm going to jump this. But as for you, Daniel, go your way until the end of your life. For you will rest, dead in the spiritual realm, and rise again for your allotted inheritance at the end of the age. We're just talking about now. So Daniel is most likely with us right now. Right? This is beautiful, man, the way these scriptures come together.
25 and 14, the secret of the Lord is with them that fear him, and he will show them his covenant. Matter of fact, let's see what this says in the NLT. The Lord is a friend to those who fear him. Remember what Yahushua said to his disciples, I call you no more servants, but friends. For a servant knoweth not what his master doeth. So in order for the Lord Yahweh to call the prophets friends, that means that he revealed to them the mysteries. He revealed to them or allowed them to partake in his most blissful intercourse. Wisdom of Solomon 7:27. And being but one, she can do all things, and remaining in herself, she maketh all things new, and in all ages entering into holy souls, she maketh them friends of the Most High and prophets. So Psalms 25:14 in the NLT, the Lord is a friend to those who fear him. He teacheth them his covenant. So the secrets of the Lord are with them that fear him. That's how you become a friend. This is why Abraham was known as a friend of the Most High. And the prophets are the friends of.
Same with Moses. He said, the prophets I deal with dreams and visions, but with Moses I deal face to face, even apparently. That's Numbers 12.
Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Because he reveals his secrets to them. What he say about Noah? That Noah was a just man. He was the only man back then that found favor for the Lord to show him the mystery of what he was about to do. And he went out there and told the people as the Lord told him, but they didn't listen until it was too late. Because the fear of the Lord was not in them. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Let's go to, let's see what this says. Job 38. Get ready to close out. Job 38:36. Who hath put wisdom in the inward parts, or who hath given understanding to the heart? That's the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Job 32, same book, and 7. It says, I said they should speak, and multitude of years should teach wisdom. But there is a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Almighty giveth them understanding. Inspiration, to breathe in. Inspiration is the word nashama. Nashama, breathe. Spirit. Breath of the Most High. Or actually breath. Breath of man, every breathing thing, spirit of man. So the breath of the Most High, which is what? The secrets. The intellect, to tell in. Divine inspiration, which is to breathe in. The mysteries, the secrets. That makes them what? Friends of the Most High. Matter of fact, what is this? Okay, Nasham is to destroy. Yeah, well, this truth could either make you or break you. Okay, so what else we got? 1 Corinthians 2. Like I said, I'll read a couple more of these and then we'll close out. 1 Corinthians 2:10. But the Most High hath revealed them. Matter of fact, I start at 9. But as it is written, I have not seen nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which the Most High hath prepared for them that love him, that fear him. But the Most High hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Ruach Kodash, which is the Holy Spirit. For the Spirit searcheth all things, yea, the deep things of the Most High. For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of man which is in him? Even so the things of the Most High knoweth no man, but the Spirit of the Most High. Right? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Now we have received not the spirit of the world. And some of these Israelites out here, they're still in that spirit of the world. But the Spirit which is of the Most High, that we might know the things that are freely given to us of the Most High. Okay? Which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teacheth, but which the Holy Spirit teacheth, comparing spiritual things with spiritual. And these guys are not able to do that, because the Spirit of the Lord is not supping with them, because they don't fear the Lord. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High. And this is why, the Lord is pleading with these guys. He's telling them over and over and over and over and over. I mean, So much so that they're like, damn, why you guys keep talking about the MOTB? That's all you do videos on. That's the Lord pleading with you. Because the Lord is long suffering. And not willing that any should perish. But you ain't going to get it until it's too late for some of you. For they are foolishness unto him, see? Neither can they know them because they are spiritually discerned. If some of these guys are not spiritually discerned because they don't have the oil, they're dull of hearing. But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judge of no man. For who have known the mind of the Lord, that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of Yahushua. And if you heard Captain Katazar dealing with that woman, what he kept saying, he called us pretty much, if you want to learn to be a PDF file, go to GMS. But then what he kept saying,
if you knew what the word PDF file means, you wouldn't call us that because we're not PD pals.
We giving out. I figured exactly how he put it, but we're out here in the spirit of Christ. Christ. And they call on the name Yahweh. But a lot of times they keep pushing that name Christ. We're not in the spirit of Christ. We're in the spirit of Hamashiach, Yahushua. Man, there's so many good precepts on here. Matter of fact, let me get this last one here. Proverbs chapter 2.
Yeah, the list that I put together there, I haven't covered all the scriptures. I believe I put together like at least 25 scriptures. But that's a good topic. The secrets of the Most High, the mysteries, the prophecies. You can't fake this. You just can't make shit up. You can't read the scriptures and say, "Oh, I think it means this or that." For no. When you go to what is that? First Peter's 1, starting I believe about the 16th verse. It go as you read down about the 19th verse. I'm not gonna go to it. It tells you about there's no private interpretation. Oh, ISUBK breaks it down this way, and IUIC breaks it down that way, and GMS breaks it down that way. No, you can't break one scripture down one way, 3 ways, 5 ways. There's only one way you break it down.
The point is a little further down. I'm going to start at 1, 2 and 1. My son, if thou wilt receive my words and hide my commandments with thee, so that thou incline thine ear unto wisdom and apply thine heart to understanding. Yea, if thou criest after knowledge and liftest up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver and searchest for her as for hid treasures, then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and find the knowledge of the Most High, because the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have they that keep his commandments. For the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. He layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler or a shield to them that walk uprightly. He keepeth the path of judgment, and preserveth the way of his saints. Then shalt thou understand righteousness and judgment and equity, yea, every good path. The Lord is pretty much pleading with these guys. But eventually the mercy of the Lord and the patience of the Lord is going to run out. And we get to that point. When wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee. That's why it says that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, Esau, from the man that speaketh forward things. See? And that applies to Esau, and that also applies to false prophets that were once enlightened to the truth and then turned their back and heap disciples unto themselves. But if the Lord is with you, even if you're in that situation, and the false prophet rises up among you and tries to convert you, the Spirit will give you, the Lord will give you the Spirit to resist that and flee. You know, resist the devil and he shall flee from thee. So I mean, like I said, we could go on and on and on and on and on, but I think this is a good place to stop. So mystery is religious truth via divine revelation. And there was another word right here, mayan, to close, shut, mute. So a mystery is mute. Because the lips of wisdom, the lips of this mystery or this truth is not revealed to everybody. Because they're not tapped in to the Holy Spirit of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai and the oil. All right, so right here it says mistes, one who has been initiated. So with that, I pray that you brothers and few sisters have been edified. Till the next time I say, Shalom.
And we're going to keep going into these lessons dealing with the mysteries, secrets, secret counsel, prophecies. The Lord will do nothing unless he revealeth his secrets unto his servants and prophets. The Lord has spoken, who can but prophesy, and so forth. Because you just can't set up shop and say, I'm a Hebrew, I'm a prophet of the Lord. Just because you say you're a prophet of the Lord, don't make you a prophet of the Lord. And them guys, as it stands, those other two major camps, as it stands, I'm not saying ultimately they're not prophets of the Lord or the elect, but as it stands, they're not, because there's certain things that they go off on. Anyway, Shalom. This was a marathon. On to the next. Shalom. Let me go ahead and check this again. Okay, you got GMS Spiritual Healing. This too shall pass. Anyway, on to the next. Shalom.